Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. I am Jamie Beth. Today we're going to talk about some Greek mythology and specifically the Olympians. And I'm really excited to talk about this today. I don't know why, I've just been kind of fascinated about it recently. I've just been reading up and I thought I would share that information with you. So we're going to jump right in and start with this video. In ancient Greek mythology and religion, the 12 Olympians are the major deities of the Greek pantheon, and they are commonly considered to be Zeus, Hera, Poseidon, Demeter, Athena, Apollo, Artemis, Ares, Hephaestus, Aphrodite, Hermes, and either Hestia or Dionysus. Although Hades was a major ancient Greek god and was the brother of the first generation of Olympians, Zeus, Poseidon, Hera, Demeter, and Hestia, his realm was the underworld, far from Olympus, and thus he was not usually considered to be an Olympian, although he really was. Besides the Olympians, there were other groups of gods and goddesses, but we are just going to talk about the Olympians today. Again, the Olympians were a race of deities, primarily consisting of third and fourth generation immortal beings, worshipped as the principal gods of the Greek pantheon, and so named because of their residency at the top of Mount Olympus. They gained their supremacy in a 10-year-long war of gods. So with this war of gods, it was in fact Zeus that led his siblings to victory over the previous generation of ruling immortal beings, the Titans. They were a family of gods, the most important consisting of the first generation Olympians, the offspring of Titans, Cronus and Rhea. And those offsprings were Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Demeter, and Hestia. A little backstory on how the Olympians came to be. There was this great war called Titanomachy, which was the war between the Titans, the old generation of Greek gods, and the Olympian gods, led by Zeus. The war lasted a total of 10 years, ending in defeat of the old pantheon, which was based on Mount Olympus, and the establishment of the new one based on Mount Olympus. When the Titans were in power, Uranus was the ruler of the universe. However, he caused the wrath of his wife, Gaia, after incarcerating some of her children, the Cyclops and the Hecatories, in the depths of the earth called Tartarus. Gaia decided to take revenge and created a giant sickle. She then told her children to castrate their father in order to overthrow him. Only Cronus agreed, and after he formed a plot with his mother, he managed to overpower his father and castrate him. From Uranus's blood that fell on the earth, 3 sets of children were born: the Malia, the Uranus, and the Giantes. After Cronus castrated his dad, he took the throne, but not before Uranus made a prophecy that his son would also be overthrown by his own sons. Afraid that he would lose the reign, Cronus turned into the same tyrant god that his father was. He put his brothers back into Tartarus and also ate his own children in an effort to prevent the prophecy from becoming true. However, his wife Rhea tricked him and saved their youngest child, Zeus, from his father's paranoia. When Zeus grew up, he became his father's cupbearer without revealing his true identity. Helped by Metis, the Titan goddess who later became Zeus's first wife, he gave Cronus a mixture of wine and mustard, causing him to vomit one by one the children he had swallowed. When all of his brothers and sisters were freed, Zeus gathered them and convinced them to start a rebellion against his father, thus starting the Titanomachy. Zeus released the Hecatories and the Cyclops from Tartarus and asked their help against their brother. And the Hecatories started hurling rocks against the Titans, while the Cyclops created the famous thunderbolts for their leader, Zeus. So there were some Titans that fought on the side of the Olympians, and when those Titans, or when the Olympians won the war, The Titans that were on the Olympian side, lives were spared. All the rest of the Titans were jailed in Tartarus. Zeus, along with his brothers Poseidon and Hades, divided the universe by drawing straws. Zeus became the king of the sky as well as the ruler of mortals and gods. Poseidon became the ruler of the seas, while Hades became the ruler of the underworld. So Zeus is the first god we're going to talk about, and he is the king of the gods. And he is the ruler of the skies and the mythical Mount Olympus. He is also the most powerful of all of the gods. Famous for his sexual appetite, he fathered many gods and mortals, often using cunning to end up in bed with women he desired. Frequently represented with a thunderbolt in hand, Zeus was perceived to be a god of weather. One myth has him flooding the world in order to rid it of human decadence. Bolts of lightning were said to have come directly from Zeus, targeting those who had incurred his wrath. So we're going to talk about Hera next. Hera is the wife and sister of Zeus. Hera ruled as queen of Mount Olympus and patron saint of women, marriages, wives, and childbirth. One of the reoccurring themes in Greek mythology was Hera's jealousy in the face of her husband's infidelity. In particular, she wreaked vengeance on the women who fell prey to Zeus's charms, punishing them. Traditionally, Hera was associated with the pomegranate, a symbol of fertility used throughout history, as well as with animals, including cows and lions. Next on our list is Poseidon. Poseidon is the brother of Zeus and Hades. According to legend, Poseidon lived in the palace deep beneath the ocean and was often depicted with a trident, a symbol of his power. As Poseidon was thought to be the god of the seas, sailors and seafarers would regularly build temples and make offerings to him in order to try and ensure their safe passage. When Poseidon got angry, his anger took form of storms, tsunamis, and doldrums, all threats to travelers and seafarers. Hades was the king of the underworld, and he was depicted as a grim and ghastly figure, inspiring awe and terror in everybody. Consequently, he was rarely depicted in art. When he was most commonly portrayed with a beard and a solemn, mournful look. He frequently wears a helmet named the Helm of Darkness or the Cap of Invisibility. Cerberus, the three-headed dog which guarded the entrance to the underworld, is usually beside him. Every so often he carries a scepter or holds the key to his kingdom. At a later stage, he became associated with the weapons of choice, the bident, the two-pronged fork modeled after Poseidon's trident. As Pluton, he was sometimes shown with a cornucopia, the horn of plenty. Ares was the son of Zeus and Hera and the god of war. Many Greeks viewed him with something like ambivalence. His presence was seen as a necessary evil. Often depicted as physically strong and dashing, Ares was regarded as brutal and bloodthirsty, using sheer force to achieve his aims. His sister Athena, goddess of wisdom, was the goddess of military strategy, whereas Ares' role in war was more corporal. Athena, one of the most popular goddesses of Mount Olympus, Athena was the goddess of wisdom, military strategy, and peace. She was said to have sprung from Zeus's forehead, fully formed and wearing her armor. The most recognizable feature are her gray eyes and her sacred counterpart, the owl. The city of Athens was named after Athena and dedicated to her. Temples to Athena were to be found across the city, and she was widely revered throughout the ancient Greece. Many myths see Athena embark on heroic endeavors, earning her popularity. popularity as a goddess who would look out for mortals. Aphrodite. Aphrodite was the goddess of love, The goddess Aphrodite is perhaps one of the most famous and enduring of the Greek. She appears frequently in Western art as personification of love and beauty. Said to have sprung from sea foam fully formed, Aphrodite was married to Hephaestus, but notoriously unfaithful, taking many lovers over time. As well as the goddess of love and desire, she was also viewed as the patron goddess of prostitutes and was linked to sexual desire in all forms. Apollo, the god of music and art. Apollo was traditionally depicted as youthful and handsome in ancient Greece. As well as being the god of music and arts, Apollo was also associated with medicine and healing. As such, Apollo could help ward off evil of many sorts. Temples dedicated to Apollo could be found across Greece. He was also the patron deity of Delphi, which was the center of the world to ancient Greeks. Artemis. The virgin goddess of hunts, Artemis was originally depicted with a bow and arrow or carrying a spear. The temple of Artemis was known to be one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Artemis was particularly popular because she was viewed as a protector of children and women in childbirth, making her important to women around the world. Hermes. Famous for his winged sandals, Hermes was the herald or messenger of the gods, as well as the patron deity of travelers and thieves. In Greek mythology, he often played tricks on unsuspecting gods and mortals, earning him a reputation as a slippery trickster with the potential to cause trouble. For many years, Hermes was associated with the underworld as a messenger. He could travel between the land of the living and the dead with relative ease. Demeter. Demeter is best known for the origin story of seasons. Her daughter, Persephone, was kidnapped by Hades and taken to the underworld, where she was tempted to eat and drink, thus binding her to him in the underworld. Demeter was so distraught that she let all the crops wither and fail as she went to rescue Persephone. Fortunately, Demeter arrived before Persephone had finished eating the meal laid out by Hades. As she'd eaten half of the pomegranate he'd offered her, she had to stay in the underworld for half of the year, autumn and winter. But she could return to Earth with her mother for the remaining 6 months, spring and summer. Hestia. Hestia is one of the most frequently invoked goddesses. Traditionally, the first offering of every sacrifice for a household would be made to Hestia, and the flames from her hearth were carried to new settlements. Hephaestus. The son of Zeus and the god of fire, Hephaestus was thrown from Mount Olympus as a child and developed a club foot or limp as a result. Hephaestus was also a talented blacksmith who made weapons for all the gods. So that is our video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and learning a little bit about our mythical Greek goddesses and gods. I thought they were pretty interesting. I really, like I said, have been infatuated with this lately, so I just wanted to share a little bit of that information with you as well. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up and remember to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, as well as the notification bell next to it to be notified of all of upcoming videos. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon.